is going on, everybody? It's your boy Eddie Styles, and today we are back at it with another banger. Today's episode, we are going to cover the importance of nutrition, and I'm going to explain everything that you need to know when it comes to nutrition and really how to maximize the most out of your diet, what you're putting into your body to get the most results possible. Now, I do want to preface this and say this is going to be very surface level. It's not going to be too deep into the finer details of nutrition. All right, if you want to get a little nerdy and get into the deeper stuff, we're probably going to be here for a lot longer. But again, I want to keep this very surface level, give you guys a lot of helpful information and some gems that you can apply to your everyday life and your current health and fitness journey to really make the most out of your gains. So with that being said, the topics that we are going to cover today is the importance of nutrition. Why is nutrition so important? We're going to go over your macronutrients, what they are, why they are important. I'm going to go over hydration, its importance, the energy equation. I'm going to go over some popular nutrition myths as well. This is probably a super common one, and that one itself is going to help a lot of people. I'm also going to give you guys some free game on how to customize your own macros, your own meal plan, literally give you guys the sauce to do this shit yourself. So if you're listening, you're in for a treat. I'm going to give you the map to your treasure. That's what I like to tell my clients. I'm going to give you the map to your treasure. All you have to do is listen to this full video, and I promise, I guarantee, if you take the information that I give, you will be super successful in whatever your fitness goals are. If you're trying to put on size, if you're trying to drop body fat, if you're trying to tone, recomp, whatever the case is, I promise you will be successful. All right. And feel free, if you guys have any questions, shoot me over DM, shoot me over a message. I will be gladly, happily shoot the shit with you guys. I love this shit. I do this shit. All right. So again, anything I cover in here, if you guys have any questions pertaining to your lifestyle specifically, your health and fitness journey specifically, I am a DM away. All right. Yeah. Back to this. I'm going to give you guys some practical tips for meal planning. I'm going to talk about some apps. I'm going to talk about your gut health and its impact on the gains. This is a very untalked about topic that not a lot of people talk about, and it is super important when it comes to your nutrition and your overall results, because if you have horrible gut health, I'm sorry to say you're probably not going to be able to break down the meals and absorb the nutrients properly. Therefore, you're not going to be able to get the most out of your nutrition. With that being said, last thing we're going to hit on is meal timing, and a bonus, I'm going to go over carb cycling at the end. That being said, let's get into the importance of nutrition. Why is nutrition important? Nutrition is going to dictate pretty much everything in your life. How you feel, how you move, how you recover, how you look, how you think. Nutrition is going to be the deciding factor. Now, if you ever wondered why you feel sluggish, why you feel tired, maybe lethargic, or you don't feel like you have the right drive or right motivation's not there, probably because you're not feeling your body to optimally perform. And what I mean by that is there is a sweet spot in how many calories you should be intaking for your goals. There is a specific range you want to be in for your macros. I do want to also preface that there is no specifics with this. Anything I do say is it's not one size fits all. All right. There's a million ways to skin a cat. Something that I say can work for you, or it may not work for you. This is why you have to really test new things out, try new things out, but be consistent, because if you try something out for a week, I promise it's not going to do nothing for you, right? You have to try these things out, be consistent for at least 3 to 5 weeks to really make sure that, all right, this is working or this is not working for me. All right. So just want to kind of throw that out there. But yeah, nutrition is going to be, like I said, the deciding factor in a lot of your everyday activities, how you think, how you feel, how you move. All right. If you want to be on the top of your game, you have to dial in your nutrition. I don't care who you are. And I'm going to be honest, I'm going to argue that nutrition is probably 80% of this whole process, right? If you want to change your physique and really develop your body and change it for however you want to change it, whether it's weight loss, muscle building, recomp, dropping a little bit of body fat, maybe it's just improving your lifestyle a little bit, you're going to have to work on nutrition. Again, this is where you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck. You got to have the perfect workout plan. You can be the most religious and disciplined person when it comes to your training. But if you are not feeling your body the right way, you're going to get very subpar gains. And some people are going to make more gains than others. Genetics play a huge role as well. We're going to leave genetics completely out of the equation for this topic. But yeah, genetics play a role. And yeah, so with that being said, nutrition is so important. And throughout this, you're going to really get the full idea of why it's important. All right. Now let's go over into macros. What are the macros? Macronutrients. You probably heard this word before, and some of you probably know what it is, what they are, what they do. Some of you probably have no idea. All right. So you have your proteins, your carbs, and fats. Those are the big three. Alcohol is considered a macronutrient as well. But again, we're going to leave this very surface level. We're going to leave that out of here. All right, we have your proteins. Your protein intake is going to help with your muscle repair. This is going to help with your muscle growth, making those adaptations, and this is going to help with your recovery as well. Protein is also going to be your best friend when you're looking to really be satiated and full with your meals. Now, the purpose of proteins deliver essential amino acids for muscle repair, growth, and recovery right after your training. Delivers essential amino acids directly to your muscles to again support the growth, to support recovery, and to make these adaptations to grow. Next is going to be your carbs, your carbohydrates. These are going to provide the energy for your fuel and for your intense training sessions. This is going to be your cardio sessions, it's going to be your workouts, and this is going to be your everyday activities. You're walking, you're moving, you're thinking. This is going to be everything you are doing. All the movement I'm doing with my hands, carbs are going to be the primary energy source for this. All right, carbs are going to replenish your glycogen stores, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later in the episode. And this is super important when it comes to sustaining performance and actually improving and increasing your quality of your training sessions. Now, last is your fats. This is for hormone regulation, joint health, and fats act as a long-lasting energy source for endurance and low-intensity tasks. Really good for organ health, brain health, joint health, all that good stuff. So fats are super important, more so for women as well. All right, we got to support the fats are super important, mainly for women as well. Now, to kind of put this all into perspective, let me give you a little analogy that I wrote down. Carbs are the fuel. Think of this as the gasoline. Just like gas powers a car, carbs provide the primary energy source for your body to move, work, and perform these daily activities. Without no gas, your car is not moving, or it can't run efficiently at all. The repair and maintenance crew. Proteins, think of proteins like the mechanics and the replacement parts for your car. They repair any damages and can really help build new components to keep everything running smoothly. And lastly, we have the fats. Fats are going to provide the backup energy needed to keep the engine running longer and smoother, and going to provide the energy needed to sustain these essential systems to properly keep running. So again, you need all three to make these work. Now, let's talk about the calorie equation. Psycho. Calories in, calories out. Let's talk about the energy equation. Calories in, calories out. Psycho. You probably heard this before. So what is a calorie? Calorie is a unit of energy that your body gets from food and uses for everything. Breathing, moving, exercise, performance, all of this. Let's talk about what a calorie deficit is and what a calorie surplus is. A calorie deficit is basically going to be where you're burning more calories than you're consuming. To keep it simple, a calorie surplus is going to be the opposite. This is going to be where you're consuming more calories than you're burning. Now, being in a calorie deficit consistently over a period of time is going to help you drop more body fat, and being in a calorie surplus is going to help you put on more weight if it's done in a consistent period of time. Now, depending on your goal, if you're trying to lose more weight and or lose body fat, you're probably going to want to be in a calorie deficit, right? But if the problem is you're trying to lose weight, but you're not losing weight, you're not in a calorie deficit. You're most likely in a surplus and or you're at maintenance, which maintenance basically means however many calories you're burning at that given day, you are literally eating around the same amount. Basically, it's balancing out to where you're expending the same amount you're consuming and you're not really moving the needle. So again, if you really want to swing calorie deficit and drop body fat, you're going to have to really increase your expenditure and or drop your intake, and vice versa. If you're trying to put on size and or grow, you're going to want to go into a slight calorie surplus and make sure you're eating slightly above maintenance level. Now let's look at label reading. This is probably one of the most underrated aspects that people don't take into consideration and or don't know how to really look at a label and read it properly. Now, let's take a bag of chips, for example. If you look at a family size bag of chips and it says 140 calories per serving, that does not mean the entire big ass bag is 140 calories. Whatever the serving size is, however many grams, however many chips is in a serving size, let's say it's 25 chips, 30 grams of chips, whatever the case is, that means in that serving size, it's probably a handful. It's 140 calories. So if you look at the amount of servings in the container, that's where you multiply that number to see the total amount. So let's say there's 10 servings in this family size bag of chips and each serving is 140 calories. That bag of chips is 1,400 calories. That is insane. Put that into perspective. That entire family bag is 1,400 calories. Now think about how many chips you can confidently eat in one sitting. It's actually pretty crazy, right? Another thing is TDEE. You've probably heard this is your total daily energy expenditure. Basically, this is just the number of calories your body burns in a day with all activities. This is going to be calories burned from walking, from dieting, from fidgeting, all this moving that I'm doing. All of this stuff is going to add up. All right. The calories you are burning from exercise, this is going to factor into this. The calories used to digest and break down food, this is going to factor into this. So to really get an accurate reading and or your accurate macros to be in a specific calorie deficit and or surplus, you need to find your TDE. You need to find exactly how many calories your body is burning. That way you can manipulate, all right, am I going to need a little bit more expenditure or can I actually pull away and drop my intake a little bit to create a greater calorie deficit, which is going to be the goal. Hydration and its importance. Water, electrolytes, getting your hydration in is vital, is crucial, especially in a diet. I don't want to say especially in a diet phase, especially in a dieting, a building, and whatever phase you're in, hydration is vital and it's important. I argue it's a little bit more vital in a cut. However, it's crucial 24/7. So when it comes to hydration, hydration is going to support digestion by aiding in saliva production. The more saliva production you have, this is going to help create more enzymes in your gut to help break down and process the foods better. This is what we want, right? So the more hydrated you are, the more saliva and enzyme production you'll have, which is going to help break down these bigger meals, break down the protein, and really partition these nutrients a lot better. This is what we're looking for. Water is also going to keep your muscles full. Muscles are made up 75% of water. A hydrated muscle is a big muscle. And if you want a nice, juicy pump, I promise you're going to have to drink some water and making sure you're getting these electrolytes in. Now, electrolytes are going to be your best friend. This is going to be your sodium, potassium, magnesium, all that good stuff that is really going to help your muscles function at their very, very best. Now, if you're not on top of your water intake and hydration, you're going to get cramps, you're going to be fatigued, and your performance is not going to be the best. So this is a factor that, again, making sure you're staying on top of it. That way you can have the best training sessions and get the best results moving forward. Now, here are some tips that I'm going to give you for hydration. Drink water consistently. Don't wait until you're thirsty. Have water in front of you, in sight, all times throughout the day. Take a sip every few minutes here and there. You're going to have to run to the restroom a few more times throughout the day. I'm sorry, it is what it is, but you're going to thank me. All right. This is going to be super important. Have it in sight because if you don't have no water with you, you're going to easily forget it, not worry about it, and then you're going to look at the time. It's 8 p.m. and you had a bottle of water today. Now you're dehydrated. Now your training session the next day is going to be impacted. And now you feel like shit. You don't feel the best, and now you're upset. Water is so, so important. Fruits are going to be your best friend too. Water-rich foods are going to be your best friends. Things like cucumbers, watermelons, oranges are packed with water as well. That can really help, on top of getting some great antioxidants in there as well. Now, you can also supplement with electrolytes. I strongly recommend drinking electrolytes first thing in the morning to really replenish your body. Also, pre and post training. Before your workout, hydrating is super important. And after you've trained, you probably sweat a lot and you want to replenish your electrolytes. So I think after your workout is super beneficial as well. Now, you don't have to get a gallon a day. I always recommend get more than what you're currently doing. But if you would like to set a goal of 3 to 4 liters and slowly work that up. If you are trying to lose weight and or in a cut, drink 16 to 32 ounces of water 5 to 10 minutes before a meal. And what this is going to do is expand your stomach a little bit. That way you get full faster and you don't want to indulge and or you don't want to overeat. That right there is a game changer, especially in a dieting phase. You can also replace any sugary juices and drinks with water or tea. I'm a big tea fan. There's so many varieties and different types of tea that you can drink, and I think it's absolutely amazing. I think it is a great substitution and great alternative that you can easily add in. Now, cold water may also slightly boost your metabolism, being that your body has to kind of heat up this water a little bit. Hydration also aids in bloating and digestion. Now, let's switch gears a little bit. I want to debunk some very popular fitness myths. The first one, carbs make you fat. No, carbs do not make you fat. Carbs do not make you gain weight unless you are in a calorie surplus. Back to what I mentioned earlier in the episode. You have to be in a calorie surplus to gain weight. If you're eating a lot of carbs, it's going to make it easier to gain weight. If you're eating a lot of fats, it's going to be easier to gain weight. For every 1 gram of carb, it's 4 calories. For every 1 gram of protein, it's 4 calories. For every 1 gram of fat, it is 9 calories. So it's a lot easier to overeat on fats just because they add up very quickly. Now, it's a lot easier to eat on carbs because there can be some very calorie dense carbs, things like pasta and bread, rice, to where you can eat a lot of it, very small portions, and really rack up those calories. That being said, carbs, fats do not make you gain body fat. Being in a calorie surplus is what gets you body fat. All right. All calories are equal. Nope, wrong. This is not true. Not all calories are equal. Every single food has a different nutritional value. Some things are going to be way better for you than others. Let's take the family size bag of chips versus a stack of potatoes. The calories in the chips are going to be, let's say you take a bag of chips worth of 140 calories and you take a bowl of potatoes worth 140 calories. Which one is going to be better for you? 9 times out of 10, it's going to be 10 times out of 10, it's going to be the damn potatoes, right? So again, not all calories are created equally. Some things are going to provide a lot better nutritional value than others. Always keep that in mind. The next one is you shouldn't eat after 8 p.m. or whatever time frame. This is completely wrong. You can wake up in the middle of the night and have a peanut butter sandwich. If you are in a calorie surplus for a consistent period of time, you are going to gain weight. All right. So with that being said, it doesn't matter what time you eat. As long as you're maintaining your calorie deficit, staying under the given number, burning more calories than you're consuming, you can eat at whatever time you want. Ideally, you're going to want to eat around the same times every single day. Keep that hour window relatively close. But with that being said, you can eat at 8 p.m., you can eat at 12 p.m., you can eat at 3 p.m. It's probably not going to be good for your digestive system, but yes, you can do it and you can get it done, right? And the last one is you have to cut out blank completely. I strongly disagree with this. I tell my clients all the time, you do not have to cut out anything completely. I believe moderation is key. Yes, you can have your occasional treats. Yes, you can go out for alcohol here and there with your significant other. You can have an off-plan meal if you're on your stuff and doing everything you have to do here and there. And healthy dieting, healthy living does not have to feel like Your healthy dieting, healthy living does not have to feel like a everyday chore to where you have to be locked in 1010% of the time. You can still live life. You can still have fun in moderation. Be mindful of the decisions you make. That's what I tell my clients. Now, I talked a lot about calorie deficit, macros, weight loss, body fat. I want to give you the specific equation that I use for majority of my clients. Now, again, this is not going to be 100% right. This is going to give you a good ballpark range. So if you are in a calorie deficit and or trying to really fine tune your macros, grab a pen and paper because I'm going to give you the sauce. All right, so what you're going to do, you're going to take your goal body weight. You're going to multiply that by 12. This is going to give you roughly your calorie deficit that you should be in. So let's say you are 155 pounds, but you want to get to 135 and you want to get to right above that. So you're going to take that 135, you're going to multiply that by 12. Whatever number that gives you, that's going to be your calorie range. Now, I'm just going to make a random number. Let's say it's 1600 calories. What I want you to do, you're going to go 100 calories less, and that's going to be your low. And then you're going to go 100 calories more, and that's going to be your high. That is going to be your new daily range to be in this calorie deficit. So this being said, you're going to also take that goal body weight and you're going to multiply that by 1. That's going to give you, let's say that the 135 is your goal. It's going to give you 135. I'm going to just make it quick and easy for you. This is going to be the protein that you can shoot for. Now, women, I'm going to give you a different one. You can do that 135 times 0.7. This is going to be your protein goal. Women, 0.7 times your goal body weight is going to be your equation. For guys, I'm looking for a minimum of 1 gram to 1.2 grams. If you can get a little bit more, that's perfectly fine. And same thing, ladies, if you want a little bit more protein, that's perfectly fine, but that 0.7 is going to be your low end. Now, for your fats, fellas, I want you to do your goal body weight times 0.3. Ladies, you can do times 0.4 and or 0.5. I like my women to have a little bit more fats to really optimize that hormone health. And then whatever number you get for those two numbers, let's say it's going to be 135 and the the fats, let's say it's 50 grams of fats. You're going to take that 135 protein, you're going to multiply that by 4. And I know I'm throwing a lot at you. I'm going to give you the sauce to kind of wrap this all up. You're going to take that 135, multiply that by 4. That's going to give you the protein and calories. You're going to do the same thing with the fats. You're going to take that 50, whatever grams it was, multiply that by 9. Whatever numbers you get from those two, you're going to put those together. Let's say you get 1100 calories from those two numbers being together. You now have 600 calories that you can you can convert into carbs. So what I want you to do is take that 600 and or whatever number you just got that combined those protein and fats together, you're going to divide that by 4. This is going to give you your high end of carbs. And what I want you to do is minus 50 grams of carbs. This is going to be your low end of carbs. Let's say the range is 180 to 250. That is going to be your high. That is going to be your low. Follow this Monday through Sunday. Track your weight and see how it changes. If it goes up, if it goes down, ideally it should start to go down. If it doesn't go down, wait another week. Be consistent. All right. And if it starts to go down, you're doing something right. And then you can slowly just start to titrate the carbs down. Now, I know I just threw a lot at you and you're probably like, holy shit, this guy just did a damn math equation. What I want you to do, go to my Instagram. If you really, really, really want the help, go to my Instagram, click the link in my bio. There is a free 6-step fat loss blueprint. Everything in there that I just fucking told you is exactly how to do it. All right. That's going to give you the sauce that's going to make your life so easier. The equations are there for both men and women. I literally teach you everything you need to know. I summarize this entire podcast episode into one, and I give you guys the sauce. All right. So again, that's what I like to do. That's what I typically do when I start. And then I'll move things around, adjust things, make my manipulations depending on how the client's body changes. So pretty much that's realistically how I do my thing and find that starting number. Now, if you're looking for a surplus, the equation is realistically the same, but that number in the beginning is instead of being 12, you're going for 15, and you can start with that number. All right. That being said, let's actually get into some apps to make tracking food easier. Everybody's favorite is MyFitnessPal. I've recently gotten away from recommending MyFitnessPal. Now, on my app, I do have my own tracking app or section in there. So my clients are able to use that. But sometimes when I do pick up a new client, they are using previous apps and or are used to using different ones. So I tell them I'm not going to force you to make a change. If you're already used to it, fine. The nutrition is going to be the nutrition as long as you're following it, right? So Chronometer is another good one. Lose It, Macros Plus, and Calorie Counter. These are all phenomenal apps that you can use to help track your nutrition. Now let's go into gut health and digestion. Gut health is 70% of your results. All right. It's so important. It's super crucial. It's vital. If your gut is not optimized or it's not good, you're not going to make any results. Your body is not going to be able to break down the food. You're not going to be able to absorb these nutrients. And it's just not going to be a good time for you. I'm going to be honest. Now, a good, healthy gut is going to have a balanced, healthy gut microbiome that's going to support digestion. It's going to support your immunity. It's going to help with your mood. And again, your nutrient absorption. Now, some gut-friendly foods are going to have a lot of probiotics like yogurt, kefir are really, really good. Some prebiotics can be found in garlic, onions, banana, which are going to be better for digestion. And you can look at things like fiber supplementation, look at a good morning supplementation that are going to be super, super helpful and really optimizing your gut first thing in the morning and just promoting healthy gut function overall. Now, if you do have any allergies and or triggers, stay the fuck away. It is not worth it. If you are lactose intolerant, stay the fuck away from any type of lactose products. I know pizza's amazing, but pizza probably ruins you for not only one day, but probably 2 or 3 days after. All right, and if you're ruined for 2 or 3 days after, you're not absorbing nutrients for those 2 or 3 days, and you're not really getting the most out of your meals, right? So with that being said, find things that mess you up. Keep them out. All right. This can be things like dairy, gluten, soy, nuts, anything that causes extreme bloating, distension, fatigue, and anything crazy that's like, wow, this is really fucking me up. Keep it away, stay away, and you'll be good. Best way to find these triggers and sensitivities is using an elimination diet. Track everything you're eating. Note how you're feeling 5, 10, 30, 60, 90 minutes after a meal. Keep a mental note and really see what is causing these issues, and you'll be able to really pinpoint exactly what's going on. Take it out and see if it's that was causing the issues and or if it was something else. Now, nutrition timing is another good one. It's a good point because a lot of people think nutrition timing is not important. Now, nutrition timing and its importance, you can really optimize a lot of your gains if you really dial things in, right? Your pre-workout meal and your post-workout meal. These are going to be your two opportunities to really make the most out of your training session. When it comes to that peri-workout window, that pre, intra, post-workout, you're going to want fast digesting carbs for energy. This is going to fuel your performance. It's going to fuel the pump. All right, this is going to make you feel good. This is going to help you move the damn weights. You're going to want fast digesting carbs in that pre, intra, and post-workout meal. Intra, this can be any type of dextrose carb, carbolin, any type of carb powder, Gatorade powder can be used for your intra, but your pre and post-workout, like I said, fast digesting carbs with some protein. You want to keep the fats very minimal because you want the meal to break down, digest in a good amount of time and not sit in your stomach for too long. So yes, the pre-workout meal, make sure you have a good amount of carbs to help fuel your workout. And for the post-workout meal, make sure you have some carbs in there as well to help replenish the glycogen stores and help start that recovery process. Make sure you're having protein in each and keep the fats minimal. Again, we want this meal to digest relatively quick and really get into our bloodstream. Now, meal frequency, this is going to be person dependent. If you're someone to where you like 6 smaller meals a day, you have the luxury and schedule to where you can sit down, eat your 6 meals a day, that's perfectly fine. But some clients can only eat 2 big meals and let's say 2 snacks and or 3 big meals, 2 snacks, whatever the case is. Find that sweet spot. It has to work with you, not against you. Because if you're trying to get 6 meals in and you're trying to cook your meals fresh every single time and you work a 9-to-5 desk job, it's not really realistic, if I'm being honest. So you have to find what works for you. Personally, I like 3 to 5 meals for my clients. Anywhere in that range seems to work perfectly fine. Now, the meals, they're going to vary in size and they're going to vary in food as well. But Yeah, I like a little bit more frequent meals to really help sustain appetite and to keep you full. Now, another gem is really tricking your body's hunger hormones, which are going to be your leptin and your ghrelin. Now, your body really, really likes consistency and it likes a routine. So, what you can do, and a lot of people typically do not have an appetite first thing in the morning. If this is you, you have to just train your body to eat around the same time window every single day. Now, this is going to be hard because you can't force food, but what you can do is start small and build up. So, if you are trying to build your appetite and eat more, start with, let's say, a piece of fruit and a yogurt first thing in the morning. Do this for a week time. You're going to notice around the same time frame. Let's say you do it consistently around 8 to 9 a.m. You're going to notice around this time frame, you're going to start to get hungry, which is good. From this point, you do this consistently, you can slowly titrate your food upward to where you're eating more food and you're slowly making that yogurt and fruit go into a yogurt, fruit, and eggs, yogurt, fruit, toast, sourdough toast, and you're making great, great progress. But with that being said, the hunger hormones and really managing the appetite to follow a routine and a rhythm does take some time. So if you're not getting hungry after a few days, give it some time, eat around the same window, and I promise after a week or two, you're going to notice that hunger around those specific windows. The last thing I want to talk about, guys, is carb cycling. This is tried and true, my favorite method to use with my clients. Now, this is the bonus to where I can give you the goodies. If you really want to maximize your performance and get the most out of your weight loss, this is how I get my clients to recomp so effectively and so efficiently. I'm going to use one of my girls, for example. Let's say, ladies, you're trying to drop some body fat, build the legs, tone up the upper body, build the upper body, whatever the case. You're going to want to manage your nutrition around these training days, but you're also going to want to make sure you're in a calorie deficit. So what I like to do is have higher carbs on days to where your body needs it and you're expending a little bit more. So your leg days, right? I'm pushing your carbs a little bit high. You know what? I'm pushing your carbs a lot higher than your upper days because you're going to be burning a lot more calories. You're going to be using a lot more calories in your workout. You're going to need a lot more energy to fuel that session, and you're also going to need a lot more to recover. Now, with that higher calorie increase, you can eat more calories on the leg day. And with the upper day, you can go in that sweet spot to where you maybe take 50 to 75 grams of carbs away. That way you're in a deficit now and or maintenance, all right, but you're eating less. And then with your rest day, you're eating even less carbs. So you can take another 50, 75 grams of carbs away. So you have a high, a medium, and a low day. Throughout this week, you're going to have the opportunity just to have a greater deficit overall from a weekly perspective. You're going to be able to maximize your training sessions just because you have the carbs around those workout windows. But again, you're going to be able to get the most out of the week with being in a bigger deficit. So with that being said, you can structure your days. You can structure your weeks to where you have high days on your leg days, medium days on your upper days, and for your rest days and non-training days and cardio days, you're going to have low calories. So very low carb there because you don't need them. You don't need the carbs for energy because you're not really doing much, right? And then for your upper days, yeah, you need a good bit, but you're not training hard as fuck like your leg days. And your legs are not, your upper body's not as big as your legs, and they're not going to demand as much carbs. So it's perfectly fine if you have less carbs there, but then your leg days, ladies, push those foods higher. Fellas, it's going to be the other way around, so where you're going to want higher calorie days on your upper, medium calories on your lower, and then not lower calories on your rest days. Vice versa, if you want to build your legs and really grow the legs, you're going to want to have higher calories on the leg days, medium calories on the upper, and then lower calories on the rest days. That being said, I know I threw a lot at you guys. Again, if you want everything summarized into one PDF ebook, I strongly recommend going to my Instagram, clicking the link in the bio, downloading the 6-step free weight loss blueprint. That's going to be your best friend, the best guide for you to use to make the most results possible. And I can guarantee that. All right. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot me over DM. Hopefully you learned something and you can take the information and apply it to your lifestyle today and make some more fucking gains. With that being said, guys, hope you all have a great rest of the day. I will catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.